I'm so pale.
You're on it.
Today's snow is crippling much of the Washington lowlands.
Should we, when we start, like, say, like, welcome and then say our names? Or is it just implied?
We could try it.
Okay.
I like have more of like an opening, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, we don't
I
have
suppose.
to.
I suppose we could give it a shot.
Welcome!
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
My name is Juliet Fitzy. Wait,
Wherever
what
you
side am
are.
I on for you? Because I think when you point to me,
This
you go like,
side.
I am not. Am I
You're
really?
Yes.
Not here. Not when it.
If
not to me
I'm
and not to everyone else.
If I'm looking at my screen, you're this way.
But when you point like that again. Is your hand pointing to me?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. You're this way to me.
That doesn't make any sense because I'm not.
High five.
Welcome to another
Welcome.
episode of Ash and Fitzy.
Remember how I told you I astral projected into the top drawer of my dresser?
Yes, twice.
So twice, yeah. Do you think that I was remote viewing, maybe?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I think remote viewing is different. Because
I had to have been doing something really special that no one
I've
else
actually
can do.
done that before.
It's either astral projecting or remote viewing.
I mean, it's not.
It can't be like just dreaming.
You were awake?
I don't fucking know. I think it was a lucid dream that was lucid enough that I remembered in it that I had just done the meditation thing to try to astral project.
I mean,
That's
astral
probably what it
projection is usually typically like it's an outer body experience. So if
I
you
left my
knew
body and I went into my dresser drawer. I was in my bed. Regular size.
So it could have been
And
astral projection. Remote viewing is something different. That's something I do. I've done a couple times with my life coach, like where we've practiced it.
I feel like I could do that.
Yeah, I feel like anybody like with practice can do it.
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting and really cool. Because I showed like I told her exactly. She was in a hotel and I couldn't see the bedroom. I couldn't see anything but like a blank wall behind her. And I told her like what clothes she had on the bed.
What do you do before? Like, what do you do to get yourself?
Just meditate. I just do. I mean, I do the same thing I do before I do a reading, which is just like I light sage. I sage my room, myself, like my aura. I light a candle and I do a quick like 12-minute what we call sitting in the power meditation. But you can do any meditation really.
So if you're planning on remote viewing something and you do the sage and you whatever, do you tell yourself like, all right, I'm going to, I mean, you don't have to say it in words, but do you do it with the intention of like, I'm going to see what's in this room as you're meditating?
Yeah, absolutely. I think setting intentions is super important for whatever you're doing. Even readings, you set intentions to get clear messages. You set intentions for a spirit of that person to come through, because I've had spirits of other people come through, which is really annoying. My first gallery reading I did, which was actually, this is funny, you can keep this in or not, I don't really care. I remember the first spirit I saw a horse with a cat. And I was like, there's a horse here. I was like, who lost the horse? It's coming through with a cat. It's really funny. No one could take this horse. And I'm like, all right. So I moved on to this woman who like someone could take the woman, right? So then like 3 weeks later, I'm doing a practice reading with this woman. And don't you know, I see the same horse with the same cat coming through. And I said, what the hell? And I said, did you lose a horse? And she was, oh my God, yes. And so I'm describing the horse, I'm describing the stable, what the horse liked, like, and the cat. And she was like, yes, the cat was its best friend, like never left his side. And I was like, and that horse just was coming through just for shits and
earlier,
gigs. Yeah, which happens. It happens. But it made me laugh so hard because I was like, this
like,
horse
who the
better
fuck is this?
yeah.
Get out of here, horse.
Hey.
I have this pride sticker I got at this what do they call it, bubble tea.
Oh yeah.
I went to get some of that, and they had these stickers there, and it was like it says pride on it, and it has some kind of flag. I don't even know what the fuck flag it is. Pride for what? No one knows.
I don't know. It's a ghost baby.
Oh, ghost baby.
What's up,
Hey,
bud?
buddy.
Come here. What's going on? You're supposed to be in bed.
He's so cute. Oh my God.
Can you say hi to Juliet?
Hi.
Hi. He can't hear me though, right?
No, she says hi. What's up? I know it's bright, right? What's going on?
He has to make something up real quick.
I just want to tell you,
You just want to tell me
I just want to go back to the zoo.
you want to go back to the zoo?
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like the zoo.
All right, we'll go back to the zoo one of these days, okay? All right, close my door and go to sleep. All right, love you.
Like, what do you want to tell me? I was just thinking
Yeah,
something
he
now.
just makes
The zoo.
shut up.
Yeah, yeah. That is so cute.
dear
Let me let
God.
Toby in. Hang on.
All right.
Our sons, right?
Right, all right. Do you want to do my thing first since I only have one thing? Controversial opinions.
Yeah, it's stuff that people always disagree on. And then we're going to go into news reporters a little bit because someone needs to acknowledge that. You know what I mean?
I did post on TikTok, so I'll see what people say on TikTok, and we could talk about it. Someone says Crocs are a must-have footwear. Crocs are an abomination to shoes everywhere.
I like Crocs, but I have no
Why?
dog in
They
this
have
race. I
holes
couldn't
in
care
them.
less.
What
Yeah, so
happened
it
to
airs at your feet.
flip-flops?
My feet get hot and autistic. They get autistic if I'm like too hot, like with
Well,
socks
what
on,
happened if, like,
and then like my socks
on-
start feeling like socks. You know.
okay, I hate them.
Next.
Next. Okay, someone says, if you have high beams on while driving towards opposing traffic and you pass the other car without turning them off, you should be prohibited from wearing shoes for a year.
Wow, that's very specific.
Which I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, don't be a
It's dangerous.
dick. Yeah. Like, some people don't know they have them on or forget
Yeah,
or
most people
whatever,
don't.
but
Or it's like a really young driver and they don't even think that they don't realize how blinding it is to the other person because they've never been on the other side of it.
and one says, I hate beer, but then says, it is amazing how many people react like I kicked their dog.
Saying you hate beer, yeah.
Yeah, I hate beer though. I cannot drink. I can't even drink. I went to a brewery. I said to the bartender, I was like, I hate beer. I hate beer. Do you have like anything else?
Yeah.
And she was like, I have like a fruity beer. And it's like more fruity. Like you won't be able to taste the beer. I'm like, perfect. Guess who tasted the beer and couldn't drink the drink? Me.
Really?
Now luckily
See, I'm
she didn't charge me,
almost.
but I'm like,
Oh, that's
I
nice.
hate it.
I don't like beer that tastes like beer. Like really
Yeah.
hoppy.
Yeah.
Like the beer that like other people like, I don't
Mhm.
like. I like
Yeah.
like Coors Light and lesbian beer like that.
lesbian beer. Okay.
Like not the ones that where it's like, oh, I know the guy who owns the brewery and it's a local
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You know, I follow
Well, I
him
was
on
excited.
Instagram.
It was like a queer-owned brewery. Are you ready for me to continue?
Yeah.
If you don't have your blinker on, your car can't turn.
Yeah.
I can't stand people that don't use their turning signal, especially when they're slowing down to turn. And now I'm behind you, and I'm like, why are you going so slow? So I beep, and then they turn, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all you had to do was use your
Just
turning
bloop.
signal.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's a
that's
thing
it.
that exists
That's all you
for
had to
that
do.
reason. I love when
'Cause now
people
I'm mad.
you'll see someone like switch lanes or something and then afterwards their blinker would go on.
Yeah.
You're like, no, that's not how it works. Like time moves in like
You're
a,
like,
a
I did
linear
turn,
fashion.
just so you know. Yeah. This is a weird one, and I don't understand this person who wrote it. And you'll probably be like, oh, I get it. I don't get
Probably.
it. When eating an advent calendar, so you know what an advent calendar is?
Yeah.
For Lent. Lent or
Yeah, they
Christmas?
said so eating
Christmas.
an advent calendar? You're not
No, I
supposed to
guess
eat the
it'd be like
calendar, but yeah, go ahead.
The things in the
The
calendar.
things in it, yeah.
Yeah. You should eat it as a countdown, not by dates. I.e., on the 1st of December, eat number 24 because it's 24 days until Christmas.
I would have to see what it looks like.
It looks like a calendar. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, like...
After 24, is there like I'd have to see it. If there's something that
Alright,
looks like
I'm gonna-
celebratory after 24, then no, you're supposed to go that way. Like, oh,
yeah.
you reached the
Well,
end.
I think it is. It's like, oh, it's Christmas.
I vote no.
This person wrote a paragraph on coats. And I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm
I
ready,
hate
yeah.
coats. Put on coat, walk to car. Take off coat, drive to work. Put on coat, walk inside. Take off coat. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I live an hour from the Canadian border. It's cold. Still not dealing with that fucking coat.
I agree 100%. I used to take public transportation so much that like a winter coat was so important.
Yeah.
And once I started driving, I'm like, why do people even wear coats? Like I have one when I walk Toby, but I often
Yeah.
don't have a coat if I'm going to be driving somewhere because you're not outside long enough to like you're going to be outside and it's like, oh, it's cold. It could be freezing, but if you're freezing for like 15 seconds, who cares? It's so much easier to just not
Yeah, I do
bring
wear
a coat.
I do wear a coat.
Fucking loser.
I'm a coat lover.
I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't hate them, but I feel like it doesn't always make
I-
sense to wear them.
Yeah, I get what they're
Same thing
saying.
with
Put on a
umbrellas,
coat,
though.
put on a coat. Well, here's the next one.
Yeah.
I hate umbrellas. You have to carry them around when it looks like
Mm-hmm.
it's rain, so it's a burden. They're just fragile as hell, transferring into your car. They just bring water into the car. They fucking suck.
Yeah. I agree.
I never
I use the
use an umbrella.
same.
I don't even have one.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like with a coat. I mean, I have a coat, but it's the same thing. It's like, is it? It's not that it's horrible to use one. It's just, is it worth it?
It's inconvenient, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone started a new invention on like
Go on.
umbrellas in the
Let's hear it. Yeah.
like an umbrella in the coat, like in the back of like a raincoat.
Or you pull a thing
Well,
like,
there's
and
be a
goes,
raincoat. Yeah, it'll just
I
be
want, like,
in
a-
the back or like a hood. So
No, I
like
wanna
what I'm
pull a thing.
what I'm describing is like a
hood.
hood.
A hood, but worse looking.
Of course. Like you just
A
have
hood,
it
but
like
dumber
in the
looking.
back, and then you'll pop it out, and a little thing will pop out, and then it's an umbrella, and then you can put it back in the coat.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna wash it. You're gonna have to take the wire out.
It would have to be something that detaches. Like a hood.
Something, yeah. Think about it. Someone
There's got to
invent
be.
it. I don't have time.
They had to have tried that, especially with like hiking gear and coats and stuff like that, like the serious coats. You know, how some coats are like serious.
Oh, like serious hiking.
Yeah,
coat?
yeah. I get it.
That's the
A lot of,
only
like,
thing.
pockets, or I don't know.
I literally was like
serious
thinking
one.
about like serious coats, and then I thought like a hiking coat, I guess.
Yeah, hiking
Like a
anything is
hiking
pretty
backpack.
serious. I feel like backpack. You
mean-
could have a backpack and then you have a hiking backpack, and that's like a serious.
Yes. I have a
You could
serious
have boots,
hiking
and then you
backpack.
could have hiking boots. Hiking boots are like serious
Hiking
boots.
boots, serious boots. They are
So
though.
hiking just means serious.
Yes. This one says yellow is a bullshit color. Which like
Do they have any argument for that, or
no. It was one sentence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree, but I think I get it. It makes more sense than if they said red is a bullshit color,
Yeah, because
because that one's clearly not. The fact that
Yeah.
yellow I could kind of even understand it a little bit. That just goes to show that.
and this one, well done is a perfectly fine way of enjoying a steak. Now, I have a story about this.
Yeah,
Went to a party one time, and the guy was cooking steak. I got the steak on my plate. I couldn't cut it. I, at one point, grabbed it with my hand and was like, I couldn't even rip a piece off with my teeth.
that's
I
not
couldn't
even.
eat it.
Is that well done, or is that just like cooked badly? Because
I
you should be
don't
able to cut it no
know.
matter what.
I couldn't cut it. It was too well done. Other people around me were eating the steak, and I looked at my friend and I go, my dude, how do you eat this steak?
Were they able to cut it?
No.
I'm concerned about the fact that you couldn't cut it, because I feel like no matter what, you should be able to cut it.
I
Were you
was
using a knife?
Listen, I believe so.
Did you have
I
two
was
forks, or did you have like a knife? and a fork?
wasted at this party.
Okay.
Like when I
Were-
tell you wasted, like I was gone.
So you don't know if it was a knife that you were using.
I'm pretty sure I had a knife. I was like, no, like a fucking lion trying to bite. And I was like, no.
There's a lions coming back in this episode too.
Oh my god.
So every
Sign.
episode, has
Every
it been every?
episode.
I don't know. I'll check at some point.
I don't think it's been
But
every. I think
no,
the
it
hobby
feels like
horse-
every single episode we've done. Well, the Lion King comes in at some point,
The Lion King. It's a sign.
and then there's this one and one other one where we talk about lions, and there's the lions
It's from Amazon.
From Amazon, yeah, not from the Lion King, from
No,
Amazon.
no, no. One is the gaps in public restroom stalls need to go. Not sure why this is a thing. I never even thought about it. What is that even for?
The
Because
gaps, like
it I guess what they're talking about, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming the gaps on the bottom, right? That's the only thing I can think
Oh.
of. But I'm like, why?
unless they mean
why?
like between the the
The
stalls,
door?
like the walls, and there were some bathrooms that have like a nice thing you could see through if you wanted to, but you'd have to go up to it and like look in it. Is that what they're talking about?
I have no idea. They just said the gaps in public restroom stalls. I just thought it meant the gaps underneath. I'm
No,
like,
I feel like they would
then
say
I
on
started to
the
really
floor.
think about it, but I'm like, I never
But
really
that's
thought
true
about it.
too.
Yeah, I just
I
never
guess
like.
it's like if
Unless
someone got stuck. Because think of how often you go into a public bathroom and like the little latch thing is all fucked up, like half the time, I feel like. So you'd want to at least not like, oh my god, I'd hate to get down on the floor of a public bathroom, but if you were stuck.
if I was stuck, I would die in there.
I think I'd climb. I'd injure myself
Climb
trying to
up
climb
top.
over. Yeah,
Yeah.
before I got down
Fall
and
in the
like
toilet,
rubbed my
smack your
body
head.
against the floor of a public. Oh, I hate public bathrooms.
Ugh.
You know, so you know me really well, and I'm like not. I'm like the opposite of a germaphobe. Like I
Yes.
just don't care. But public bathrooms,
They're
can't do
something.
it. I mean, I
We,
use them, but even thinking, I could probably get myself to like gag, just thinking about a public bathroom.
Let me tell you something. The bathrooms,
me.
and Danielle, oh, I'm going to tell you. Danielle can attest to this, and we try not to even talk about it because
Ugh.
the memory. We went to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. We both had to pee. You don't even know. The smell when you walked in, it was the worst smell I've ever smelled in my entire life. And I'm working vet med. I've smelled some shit. That was the worst because you couldn't flush it. Like, it was like, building, like, you walk in and there's just a toilet. And it's just,
What did I
it was
just
the
do? Did you
worst.
see that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm telling you, the
was like a
worst
shiver
thing
and
ever. Yeah, because it's like, we can't even talk about it.
No, I
Because
just pictured it.
we'll
That's why I
say,
was like, oh.
like, if we're talking about something bad or be like, it smells bad, think of Rocky Mountain National Park, but little less. Or, like, that's, like, our gauge.
Ugh.
It was so bad. I don't know if they'd never cleaned them, if someone threw up and shit, and just,
Died.
it says it's okay to leash children. Now, let's talk about this, because I have a 5-year-old. Now, would I leash him at 5? No. Would I leash him at 5? When he was learning to walk?
2.
Absolutely. To a little backpack? Yes. You're not going to put a collar on him. But a little backpack with a leash? Absolutely. Because I'm telling you what,
Harness.
you think they're going to hold your hand
No.
and
you
not,
can
they
do
just slip out of your
none
hand
of
and
that.
run. They don't care. You can't.
Right into
You
the
can
street.
scream at them. They're just like, ah. Disney World, like any packed place. Yup. Leash them the fuck up. I don't judge you. I'll be
I
like,
remember
yup.
when they first like came out. When you
It
first
was a
started seeing them,
big
because
controversy.
it looked fucking weird. Like I'll admit,
Yeah.
it was like,
Oh,
are we
100%.
doing
It
this
looks like
now?
you're walking a
Like,
dog. Mhm.
yeah, because it's just we weren't used to it. But like right after I first saw them, I saw a woman in Manhattan, like around Times Square, with a pushing a stroller with a baby in it, and then she had like a 2.5-year-old
Yep.
attached to the stroller, or maybe it was in her hand, I don't know, but with the leash on, says something. I don't know if it was a backpack or like a little thing around him, whatever. And she's walking down the crowded sidewalk with the cars and everything, super busy area, and I was like, oh, that totally makes sense.
When are you turning 40? How many years?
I'm 40 already.
We didn't have a party.
No, I went to your house briefly.
Oh, yeah.
We had our little joint
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah. We had our joint birthday party.
Yeah,
That's right.
but it wasn't like a,
Happy birthday.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh. Well, this year we should go bowling or something.
We should. I like
That would be
bowling.
fun to have a bowling party.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow. Okay.
Birthday bowling.
Birthday bowling.
You're
That's
all
it.
invited if you like and
Yes.
subscribe. News anchors
Yeah.
or news reporters. So, first of all, that whole in between kind of, I feel like, so in the past, I feel like if you turned on the news, they'd be like really formal and be like,
Sure.
oh, blah, 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 and very no nonsense. And then at some point more recently, they were like, you know what? People want someone relatable. so be more, you know, relatable, but then they're still not allowed to really be themselves. So they're in like this in between like area that's just like, what is happening? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like it's just phony. It's worse than if they just stayed formal, I feel like. I don't like the whole
watch the
like, oh,
news.
you know, my kid, oh man, when I
Oh, well, yeah,
had my
yeah.
baby, we didn't get much sleep. I'm just like you, everyone. You know? But again, not their fault. It's just a
Yeah.
weird. But the good side of that is that it makes it even funnier when they mess up and stuff. And then you know what I don't understand? This is what bothers me about news reporters and news anchors. You know when there's someone in the studio and then they're like, let's go to Sheila on scene.
Sure.
And then it cuts to Sheila who's in front of the car accident, whatever they're talking about. And there's that delay.
Yeah.
Why is it still a thing? That delay between them saying, you know, live on the scene, here's Sheila, and then it going to Sheila, that delay that happens before Sheila starts talking has not improved since I was a kid.
No, it's like a pretty long delay, and you're waiting
It's
for
really
Sheila to
long.
talk, and you're like, is she gonna say anything?
Live from blah, 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 blah. Go ahead, Sheila. And then she's like
And-
this. Thank you, Steve. As you can see behind me. And you're like, what the fuck? Technology-wise, why do we have that still? Everything else is like
2025.
advanced. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're talking
like
about going to
super quick.
Mars all the time now.
Yeah.
And we still have Sheila like,
Not so pale.
Your Honor.
Today, snow is crippling much of the Washington lowlands.
so she was looking at herself in the
I've
monitor.
seen
I guess,
that,
so
yeah.
pale. Let's look at it again. Look at her friend too. Is like cracking up.
Not so pale.
Your Honor.
Today, snow is crippling much of the Washington lowlands.
D mega doo doo. I'm sorry, mangudu.
I know. Wait, don't they like tell her how to say it?
Yeah, and it
Deirdre?
maybe was written out phonetically or
It looks
something. I don't know
okay,
what the
if
problem
you had
was.
to say it, it'd be I had to
Deirdre
say it. Let's say me and you.
Mengadote.
Menjdote.
Men-
I wouldn't even
Menja-
pronounce that.
Menjadot?
Can you
Mega-
rewind it?
Mega doo doo. Ready?
Yep.
D mega doo doo. I'm sorry, mangudu.
What?
Mega
That's not
doo
even
doo. I'm
close
sorry.
to even how you pronounce it. That's not a
Mega
nickname.
doo-doo.
She just can't read.
DD Mega Doo Doo. There she is.
But she.
That's what that says. DD Mega Doo Doo.
Slight chance of some it's rain. It's going to bring a possibility of some rain that will be moving into our area.
It's rain. DD Mega Doo Doo. Sorry. Mega. Sorry.
Yeah, Matt is live in Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat, but we're just feet away from where a local man rolled his cell phone video on what some say is a cougar. I'll be right back with a live report.
Why did they zoom in on it then? I don't understand.
Why
this.
did he point?
He points.
Why he pointed?
The guy zooms in and he's like, that's not it. Wait, let's watch it again.
That is so funny.
I'm Scott Mattis, live in Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat, but we're just feet away from where a local man rolled his cell phone video on what some say is a cougar. I'll be right back with a live report.
Wow.
Large
and he
cat
pointed.
spotted.
He wasn't even like that it was spotted over here. He went and there's a
He was like,
cougar.
right there, that's not it. Yeah.
And they
And
zoomed
then
in.
zoom. Yeah.
Cat
It
is,
stays
like,
on it
sleeping.
too.
He's trying to take a nap.
He's trying to blend in.
He's trying to get his 5 seconds of fame, and you know what? He did.
He succeeded.
I hope he got adopted.
Yeah, I'll take him.
One more time. Can we just do it one more time?
Yeah.
I'm Scott Mattis, live in Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat, but we're just feet away from where a local man rolled
looks
his
like a
cell phone
house cat.
video on what
It's
some say
tiny.
is a cougar. I'll be right back with a live report.
Cougar.
That is
I
funny. And then at
probably
the end, he says, what some say was a cougar. Almost like he's doubting it now. He's like, did those people really just see that cat?
Run! Run, John, run! Oh, Tom.
Hello and welcome.
The roads in Susquehanna County have people fed up. Sorry, PennDOT held a forum tonight for residents to explain what's next.
Check your panties. About 175,000 rice. I think that was supposed to be pantries.
170,000 rice is in my
I couldn't warn you before I saw it, and I couldn't warn you, Eric. I'm just so.
About 175,000 rice and slow cookers are being recalled due to fire and electric shock.
See there's proof right there that it's not always their fault. Because she says, I tried to warn you. So she saw it on the way it was written on the screen was a typo.
Check your panties. About 170.
That's so good.
Bodily functions in the news this morning. The next time you pass gas, make sure no police are around. A man in West Virginia faces assault charges after police say he passed gas in front of the officer. Wayne, don't laugh. After the man was already arrested for DUI, according to police reports of St. Cruz. I can't even get through this.
He passed the gas so loudly the officer said it was, quote, very odorous and created...
And Hugh Janus, turning 10. We'd mentioned...
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
I totally felt for it, didn't I?
I love his reaction too. Like he's not mad or anything. He's like, that's great.
Man who took on a goat's eye view of the world has been rewarded for his efforts. I can't make this stuff up. Thomas Thwaites had a set of prosthetic legs built and spent 3 days living among goats in the Alps. He did it because he wanted a simpler life. And he says it was fascinating. A little bizarre though. Thwaites co-won an IG Nobel Prize for Biology with another man who tried living as several different animals. The IG Nobel Awards. The IG Nobel Awards honor research that may seem bizarre.
Oh no. Why is he eating the grass?
But actually provokes thought. Kevin O'Shea. Don't watch the video. You try and read that script.
Oh, this one was funny. They were already laughing at something to begin with, and then they tried to move on to the next story. And the next story was just so ridiculous that they couldn't do it, and I don't blame them one bit.
It is very relatable. Okay. Shout out to Ellen. Okay. Got it.
All right, as you prepare breakfast this morning, grab those milk cartons. Today is National Milk Day, a day I'm sure you have been looking forward to celebrating.
Milk, what are we going to describe?
Listen to the shit. Like, no wonder the shit they make them say. Like, a day that we're sure you were looking forward to celebrating.
Milk, what are we going to describe? The script says to describe what milk is used for. So here we go. Milk can be numerous things. Like,
Scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges.
Proper way to sled down a hill that's more muddy than snowy. They say no matter what, just have fun, use your hands, and make sure you steer. Oh
my. I was like, please tell me she like wipes out.
I thought since she had said like snow mixed with mud, I was like, oh, she's gonna face plant in some mud. Yeah. And then I was like, well, she might know that could happen, and obviously they're having to go down the hill. Or whatever.
Right into the.
But what are the chances of her going down this path?
Well, she must have told it at the end, yeah.
No, because she's looking up like smiling at the camera, like she doesn't know when they're gonna cut.
Yeah, what are the chances she runs into a big ass?
Like, look at where she is.
Use your hand and make sure you steer. Oh boy.
Big ass snowball. She's having the time of her life. Look at her. She is having fun.
See, she's looking up at the camera like
And then at the
she
end,
doesn't know when
she's
it's gonna
like,
end. You know, like she wants it to end with like the
Yeah.
silent going down the hill.
Yeah. And then she goes, "Oh shit!" Because she's like, "I'm gonna crash hard."
Let's see if we could figure out where she.
Figure out when she's like, "Yeah, this is wrong."
Right there.
Oh, I miss you.
I miss you.
Yeah, we should.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay,
love
bye.
you.
I love
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.